The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event, it's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds, a movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC Experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC Experience Mastermind, where purpose is found.
Good morning, Renee.
Good morning, Sifu.
So you are holding down the fort because Lancelot is in the process of shooting another movie, and Jose is taking his son to the doctor this morning. So look at that. You and me, we're going to hold down the fort. New York City Mastermind Experience live. How are you today?
I am excited to be here, excited for the opportunity. Always glad to have a conversation about the New York City Mastermind Experience. And wow, I get a chance to hang out with you. So can't get any better than that.
Right. Likewise, I feel the same way because every time you and I have been in a room, we have great conversations. This is part two. This is part two of the evolution of rooms. What does that mean to you?
The evolution of rooms it's powerful. When I think about the shift has happened for me. So I used to walk into rooms thinking about, just being in the room is enough. But it's your intention when you're in the room that makes the difference. And what I mean by that is when you go into that room, it's seeking, it's being intentional. One of the ways I would go into the room years ago would always be thinking about how am I going to escape from the room? And so that meant sitting in the back or sitting in a corner. So I was in, but from the beginning, my mindset was already thinking about an escape strategy. How funny is that? You want to be in the room, but you're already preparing how you're going to escape the room.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that you did not escape in Tampa.
I'm glad
I got to tell you. So when we think about not only being in the right room, it's also who you sit next to. And I always believe it's not random, right? It's a decision because if you walk into a room and it's crowded and there's only a few select seats, then you still have a choice of, do I sit on the left, on the right, in the front, in the back? Maybe there's 8 seats available and you go, which one do I take? And so whether we know it or not, we're visual. So we're going to go, where am I going to get the best opportunity for me personally? Where's my best opportunity for 2 things, right? For me is to be able to see what's going on. And 2, who am I going to sit next to? Right? So it is a decision that we make. What are your thoughts on that?
Sifu, I agree. When you go into a room, sometimes it's intimidating. When you think about, I always think about somebody who's smiling. Who's the friendly in the room? Is there somebody who's going to smile? And that also is inviting energy. So it makes me think this is a person that I'd want to sit next to. When I go into a room and I see that there's a group of people that are together, I intentionally won't sit there because there's limited opportunity for engagement, I think, because that group already has kind of their own agenda or their own clique, so to speak. And I don't think there's an opportunity for others in that. So I think, number one, energy. What energy are you putting off? What's your eye contact look like? Are you welcoming? And that's one of the signs that I look for. And so what about you? How do you choose the right people to sit next to?
Well, I got to tell you, we have a great and incredible surprise with us. Coach Theo Clay is backstage, and as soon as he puts his camera on, we're going to bring him in. So he's a powerhouse. I got to tell you, when you talked about if there's a clique, I don't know if I want to sit there. I like to disrupt. So sometimes I will go into that cliquey space just to see what's going on, to see if I can penetrate that audience, that sphere, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Think about, I don't know why this thought came to my mind, but when a sperm is trying to get into an egg, it has to be very strong for it to get in there and make a creation, if you will, right? So sometimes I'm like, not that I see myself as a sperm, and I didn't want to take anybody in that direction, but if I want to penetrate and I want to grow, then I have to get uncomfortable. So I'm sorry if I took anybody in a wrong vision, but it's for me, it's getting uncomfortable so I can grow as a human being, as a person, as a friend, as a father, all these different things. I'm going to go ahead and see it. Coach Theo Clay will be able to jump on. Hopefully, he'll throw his camera on and join us, unless he's getting a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah.
So I'll take him off until he comes back on.
Okay. Well, Sifu, disruption is, I think, the perfect mindset of going into that space, because now it's removing the limitations of what you thought is possible. So I think that is definitely a different way to think about that. One of the areas that I also like to sit is in the center of a room. If you go into a big conference, there's something about being in the middle of everything. Positioning is everything. And there's something about the middle, not sitting on the ends, but sitting in the middle, because that's where the energy is. And I like to be in the midst of that. What about you?
Yeah. I'm a little mixed on this, because I agree with what you said earlier. Sometimes I don't want to, if it's too cliquey, if it's too one way, then look who we have here. Coach Theo Clay is in that house.
Great to see you.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, you all.
So we're talking about disrupting, right? So I was saying that I agree with Renee that sometimes when you walk into a room and if it's too cliquey, you may want to go somewhere else, right? A different part of the room, because there's different areas of the room. But I also said earlier that I may want to just get in the middle of that clique and disrupt it and find out maybe why is it a clique? What are people really holding hands, if you will, and not letting anybody in? So I got to break in, grab people's hands and say, I'm here. What's going on, kids? Let's talk.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think?
What is a clique? You know, a clique is a clique. You're in New York, Sifu. I think about the old school movie Warriors. You know, Warriors come out and play. You had cliques all across New York City. So, and what are they representing? They're representing a lot. A lot of times we tend to see it as, you know, the negative aspect when you're thinking of the gang related type thing, and it's true. So But the deeper layer in that, man, is a lot of times you see extreme brotherhood, extreme sisterhood. You see years of just experience, a lot of times. I was called a clique recently with all my veteran brothers. We like clique, okay. We never really been called that. We've been called Marines, but I understood the sentiment of that because you're talking about something that's really close. So to hear you say, Sifu, that instead of you shying away from that, you go to that. And hey, let me come in. Let me see what this is all about. And a lot of times you can find some great recipes inside of those cliques, man. So yeah, and I also heard you talk about the analogy of the sperm and the egg. I mean, hey, let's be real, man. Like that within itself is a very special phenomenon. So yeah, man, I was listening a little bit. I was trying to, get it streamed to my audience, man, and making sure that it's going out. But I'm just happy to be here, you all. I had to see Renee. Renee and I was together last night with Dr. Brian Arnold. Shout out to Dr. B.
Me.
Yeah, man. Which I met at the New York Experience in Farmingdale, man. Like just that signature smile that he has. And that's why I want to continue to work with him, man, because you could just feel his energy. You could see that he's just trying to make sure that everybody feels okay. He's got a special sauce. So just happy to be here, man. I'm listening in Evolution of Rooms Part 2, so it's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
So-
gosh, the energy is so great, and I think about what about engaging the quietest person in the room? I think sometimes that's a strategy for me because I've felt like the person who was the outsider, the person that wasn't a part of the room. And so intentionally going into a room is seeking out someone who looks like they might be uncomfortable or might not feel like they're part of the experience and gravitating there because I want to make sure that I can help shift that energy for that person, or at least, hey, if there's no one else, then I've got you.
Right.
They say that the quietest people are the smartest people.
I don't believe that.
Because
Like I personally
they're
don't.
listening. They're listening, right?
I think that's a great trait, but
They're learning.
Yeah. Sometimes, man, they're really quiet, but when they get in a atmosphere of people, their nervousness, the butterflies bring something out of them to where that's how they kind of smooth themselves out, if that makes sense. So very, oh man, like I love you, Sifu. I love New York City, man. So the Knicks is on fire right now, man. Madison Square Garden was crazy last night. And think about Spike Lee. Spike Lee seems to me like he's not a loudmouth type of guy that just always got to be running his mouth or whatnot. But when the camera comes on, man, you already know Spike Lee is going to be Spike Lee. So I think I love what Renee's saying, man, as far as, sometimes it's that one person that you could just tell they're kind of, I don't really want to say uncomfortable, but they're like, man, like new space for me. I don't know anyone. It's like walking in church for the first time. Well, not the first time, but when you walk in church and it's like everybody stops and they're like, looking at you coming in or your family or whatever, it's that feeling. So I think about, another aspect of it is people feeling comfortable. Because a lot of times, I'm gonna keep it a buck, gotta keep it 100. You see a lot of times people gravitate to what they are.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it a lot in the Marine Corps, and we would try to disrupt it, especially the leadership. You see all the Black Marines gravitating together, and they're over on one side of the room, and the white Marines is over on one side of the room, Hispanic Marines is on one side of the room. And if you sit back and look at it from afar, you're like, wow, they're interacting, yes, but they're not interacting with each other.
Yeah.
They're
no
picking
mix.
right. They're picking their spot. So a lot of the little tactics that we would do, man, we would just seize the moment. One word that a lot of Marines know, Renee, Sifu, is zero. Zero. If we say zero, everybody knows that is freeze. And everybody freezes, and it's like, hey, everybody scramble right now. Scramble it up right now. Everybody move around. We want to see high five, and we want to see hugging, because you don't never know who you're going to be in that foxhole with.
That's right.
And the young Marines, sometimes when we would break them down into smaller groups and talk about some of these things, what we were finding was, hey, I relate to them. They listen to the same music that I listen to. They grew up in single homes like I grew up in. So many different things that they would talk about, which is all true, but at the same time, it's like, you can't grow, you can't stretch. If you want to stay within your cocoon per se, step out. It's the cave mentality. Looking at the shadows up on the cave wall versus going out and exploring more. So we see that in a lot of rooms. That's what I love about the New York City experience, is you don't feel that at all, bro. I talked about it in my keynote, man. Like, we're here in a melting pot. Regardless of where you're from, regardless of what color you are, we're all here for common causes, and you see the after effects after that. So it's beautiful.
Absolutely. I gotta say, it's the seat you choose or the room you choose that will determine the conversations you have, right? Because if you sit around with people who are going to be living in the past and they're complaining all the time, then you may easily start going, well, yeah, I remember when this happened or that happened. And then all of a sudden negativity starts to fall into. But if you sit in a room with people are looking towards the future and the possibilities, then the conversation is going to elevate you. And I believe that the New York City Experience Mastermind, if you will, elevates every room we've ever been in. Coach Theo, you've been at every New York City Mastermind Experience. And now we have the honor of being in your backyard. Yes. Coming up in September. Is it okay if I throw up the commercial for you guys? I want you guys to take a look, okay? Here we go. Let me grab it. We're going to throw it up there for everybody. And it's here somewhere. It's here somewhere. I see it. I see it. It's coming up. There we go. Let's go.
The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event. It's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds. A movement of momentum.
Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC Experience Mastermind. Light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC Experience Mastermind, where purpose is found.
I got one more thing. Take a look. One more
The New York City Mastermind Experience here in Tampa is like no other. The room is electric. The people are having a great time, and I'm so proud to be one of the speakers. I can promise you, if you're not at any of these events, you're missing out, because today was an incredible day, a life-changing day for everybody who was here. All of the New York City Mastermind experiences are a must-to go. If you're looking to impact your life and take it to the next level, if you're looking to improve your business, your relationship, your finances, any of those things and more, you have to be in the room to meet the right people. There's somebody in every one of these rooms that are going to impact you and change your life for the rest of your life. Why wait at home on the couch when you could be here doing something incredible?
I couldn't have said it better, Danny Z.
Yeah, that's it, bro. It is no better than that, in my opinion. He nailed it, spot on. And I extracted something out of the theme song, I would call it. Basically, same individuals, different places. He said something to that, vibe. I'm paraphrasing, but basically saying that the same experience in different places. And we saw that in Tampa, you all. I got to meet Renee down in Tampa and some other great individuals. The gentleman with the memory, I can't remember his name. And he said it. Matt. Yes. Matt said it. He said, you might not remember my name, but you'll remember what I do. That's so true, man. Because I literally just had a blank and couldn't think of his name. Matt. And man, Atlanta, Georgia is gonna be special, bro. Oof. Like it's gonna be special, man. My niece flew in from Cali. She was born and raised out in Cali. She's been here with us the last week. And I drove her back to the airport yesterday evening around about 6. And that was her first time riding through downtown Atlanta. And it's pretty awesome because when you come off the 85 freeway, it just kind of comes down and winds in, and then boom, it's like there. It's somewhat different than New York City because, New York is so massive. You see it from all angles, the city pretty much. But man, when we turned that corner, she was like, oh my, I didn't realize Atlanta had this many skyscrapers. And, we were just chatting about it. I told her, I said, if you do the history on Atlanta, it's been the hub of the South for a very long time. It's the crossroads. It's the busiest airport in America, which sucks, by the way. So if you are coming out and you're flying in, get ready for it because it sucks, in my opinion. But Sifu, Renee, it is very exciting come September. Anytime we share the stream, you have to put in the title and the description as you share this stream to your own personal Facebook. And it just hit my spirit. Get to Atlanta, man. Just get down here come September because it's that same shared experience here is going to be special, man. Like New York City is New York, but that flavor that's coming from NY, man. The people that I've been talking to, getting out about the venues and things of that nature, when I tell them what it is and what we're doing, they're like, oh, I need to come to that. I've heard that like 6-7 times. I'm just walking up to desk. Like I was at the Georgia Tech Conference Center over the weekend with my son. And I walked up to the desk and was like, hey, who can I speak to about, your conference center and all of that? Start explaining it to the lady. Next thing you know, Sifu, she's like, oh, I need to come to that. My girlfriend needs to come because she just now wrote a book and my son is trying to be a speaker. So I was like, okay. I gave it a link and everything. And she's like, yes, I hope you all do it here and all that good stuff. So we're crunching it down, Sifu, on that aspect of things. But as we know, all major cities, man, it's a lot going on, a lot of competing interests. But when NYC Experience comes to Atlanta, man, it's going to be felt. It's going to be felt out here. So I'm excited, extremely.
What people need to understand is that right now, we still have some tickets at the dirt cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I've been to conferences where I've paid way more for one day, and it was only like 6 hours. I paid thousands of dollars. This is nothing, and you're getting 3 days.
Yeah.
You get Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You get experiences. You get all these different things. But once we hit a certain number, which is 20, it goes up. So people need to understand, if I want to get into the room at the ultimate best price you'll ever find anywhere, now's the time. When you wait, when you procrastinate, and like we said it last time, you pay the procrastination tax. That means it's going to be higher price. So don't get your ticket today.
Yeah. And I'm excited. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Yes, you're one of our speakers. We're excited to have you.
I can't wait for Atlanta. And when I think about we've been talking about proximity as power, and it's almost like this expectation. When I walk into a room, my expectation is elevated because of this experience. Tio, before you jumped on, I was sharing with Sifu my mindset when I was going to conferences for years would always be the exit strategy. When I came into the room, I was focused on the exit strategy. But when I think now, the mindset of the proximity is the power, but you can be sitting next to a powerhouse, but if you don't choose to engage, you are going to miss something special. And that was one of the powerful pieces for me of choosing to step out of the comfort zone and choose to talk to somebody that I didn't know, sitting next to me, standing next to me. All of those uncomfortable experiences open up so many possibilities. And the unexpected surprise was it didn't just stop in the room.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that was so powerful. At a lot of experiences you hear, oh, well, let's keep in touch, and you exchange the cards. But this was intentional. I remember one of the first messages the day after Coach Tio, from you, and I was like, wow, that was just incredible. Is you didn't just say, oh, we're going to stay in touch, but the connection after connection and the energy.
Yes.
And that's the piece that makes it special.
Absolutely.
Is what happens in the room, but then those continuations of the experience after the room.
I agree,
I don't know
Renee.
if you guys remember,
I agree.
Coach Theo, but we were throwing people out and they would not. We shut the lights and people were still in the room, like, get out.
Yes.
We have to go to because we were going to the next venue and people didn't understand that, hey, we got to close this room because we're going to go to a different room. And people were still having conversations like, get out.
Yes.
It was kind of funny, right? But also take a look at this message for you, Renee. You see it?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Angeline. Thank
Yes.
you.
It's awesome.
So
Man.
I hear that Angeline's also a great speaker. So I don't know
Yes.
if she's ready
Yes,
to come
she
in
is.
and speak at our spaces. So Angeline, if you're
She's ready.
we need
She's
you
ready.
in. Let's go.
She told
Let's
me
do
in
it.
Tampa she was ready. She looked me in my face in Tampa and was like, "This is it right here. This is where I'm
Yes.
supposed to be." And
Yes.
like Renee was just saying, man, once I got back and I went and I looked at Angeline, her community online, and I was like, whoa, I mean, we've all been doing it for a while, so it's not always the numbers. There's people out there that have 1 million followers and they're broke. That's just being honest, and still struggling with how to, maximize their audience per se. But the engagement that I saw with Angeline and her community, I was like, man, that's it. And it made me really happy, man. Because for me, it's like, yo, to see her succeeding and to know I was just in a room with her down in Tampa, it's special. It means something. I could come back home and like, man, I'm with people that's really out here making it happen, that's really out here impacting society, that's really out here leading people. I don't want to hear fluff, man. I spent too long in the Marine Corps to be around fluff, man. So now it's like I really want to maximize my time. Like Renee said, think about, you know, when a baby's born in a hospital and they have them all down in the little, you know, I don't even know what to call them, the little bassinets or whatever down in the room. And you remember old school, you go and look through the glass and you see all the babies laying in there. You're like, wow, this is amazing if that's your first time experiencing that. But it's being able to bring that baby home. That the after effect, that's the real prize. The real prize is the after effect, man. And I think about being at a Eric Thomas E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher conference here in Atlanta. And you know this, Sifu, I have to say it because Renee sparked it in my spirit, man. We had a break and I got back in the main, venue after the break a little early. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the stage, man, and I'm daydreaming. I'm just staring at the stage, you all. I promise to God, man. And it's at a church, Bishop Dewey E. Smith's church.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the stage, and I know I'm in a church, so it's just kind of like I don't want to feel like I'm, carnal and chasing the stage per se, like some of my mentors say. But I was like, but man, I know I'm supposed to be up on that stage, bro.
Yes, you are.
Jesse Itzler spoke that day. Jeremy Anderson spoke that day. My good brother Myron Edmonds spoke that day. Deion Sanders was there. He sat on a panel. Obviously, E.T. ripped it down. But then out of nowhere, this big, huge guy, man, big muscle-bound dude with a neck like this, he comes and he sits in front of me. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking around like, man, this big guy, out of all the empty space in here, this big dude comes and sits right there smack in front of me, man. And to your point, Renee, I was just like, man, wow, bro, he could have picked anywhere. Next thing you know, he turns around, you all. He was like, hey, man, am I in front of you? And I was like, yeah, bro. Like, bro, you're freaking Lou Ferrigno, bro, of course. And I said, if I didn't know any better, I would think you were a Marine. It was exact words I said to him. He was like, oh, man, that's one of the highest honors that anyone could ever give me. And he's like, man, are you a Marine? And I was like, I am. I actually just retired about 10 months ago. He's like, wow, you look young and all this stuff. We get to He shared his information with me while the conference, picked back up and they're speaking on stage, and him and I are texting each other back and forth. Come to find out, as I said, Sifu, it was Daniel Pewter. Daniel Pewter, man. If you don't know Daniel Pewter, get to know Daniel Pewter. And he's our brother. He's our He-Man brother. This guy, he fought in the WWF, MMA, all that good stuff. And the things that he's doing right now are phenomenal. He has schools across the United States that he started, which all derived from him being bullied as a kid. All the money he made wrestling and, TMZ and all of that, he put it into, giving back to the impoverished youth. So I think of the same thing with Danny Z. Those guys, man, they've did the circuit per se. They've done it. Danny Z, you could get on YouTube right now and type in Danny Z and I think Lancelot, our brother, he did a phenomenal job, man. So I'm cooking right now, man, because these are those moments, like Renee said, bro, like somebody out there right now, you keep missing it. You're spending money, you're buying flights, you're getting hotel rooms, you have that little tense of stress about yourself, like, should I go to this? And it's a little bit of money, and then you get in a room and it's like, man, you got to let go. You got to know what your real calling and your purpose really is. Like, man, I know what I'm here to do. I know why I felt that notion to come. That's why I'm excited, not only for Atlanta, I'm excited for Colorado. Because hey, Renee, as soon as you say, yes, we're coming, trust me, it's a beautiful thing. So I don't know. My feed is probably sucking right now.
Am I missing something? What's in Colorado?
I'm in Dallas.
I thought you was in Colorado. Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
You're in Dallas.
Dr. B is.
Dr. B is.
I'm putting Dallas out there, though.
Dallas, yes. Okay. I forgot you was in
up.
Dallas. 'Cause I told you about my man Robbie Lytle. You're right. Robbie Lytle's
Yes.
in Dallas. So we're Dallas. Yes, we're coming to Dallas for sure.
We are.
If Sifu says yes and gives that grace, and that's a beautiful place. And man, that same experience will just continue. It's special, man. Very special.
Yeah. So you know, a lot of people they don't lean in, so they miss out on the conversations. They don't put their ear out. They sometimes they'll sit in a seat, and instead of being in the room, they're in their phone.
Right.
They're in like, oh yeah, this or that, and they're not in the room. They're not present. So proximity is not luck. It's awareness, because you could sit next to the smartest person in the whole world, but because they're quiet and you didn't lean in and you didn't ask any questions, you didn't say, how are you today? What's going on? What's special in your life? You didn't engage them. You may have missed the opportunity, because just being next to somebody doesn't mean anything unless you engage. So proximity is great. It's not luck. It's what you do with that, what you do with the proximity. And a lot of people, let's talk real here. They don't know how to engage. This is why we do this show, to teach people how to engage, to teach people how to say, how are you? And not just say, how was your weekend? No, it's more of what's exciting in your life. What are you doing? What are you shaping? How are you impacting the world? So it's about asking the right questions to bring more out of a person than just like, how's the weather? Well, go outside yourself and take a peek, brother, because if you don't know what the weather's like, I'm not a meteorologist, right? I'm not going to talk to you about the weather. So if you ask me how's the weather, I'm going to go, I don't know. I said, because I'm everywhere. It's beautiful and sunny. But wait a minute. I thought it was raining in New York. I said it's beautiful and sunny. I never said it was New York. So for me, it's always beautiful and sunny. Even in a snowstorm. Even in a snowstorm. Because I'm always looking at what could be.
Yeah.
Possibilities, opportunities. Because even a snowstorm or a hurricane or a tornado does not last.
It's a fact. That's a fact.
Sifu, when you mentioned that, it just reminded me. I love movies, and I don't know if you all are familiar with The Pursuit of Happiness, where Will Smith was playing Chris Gardner.
That's one of them right there.
He was homeless, and he had an opportunity, but he came in. He could have shrank when he was in there. He could have dismissed the fact that, I can't get this because of how I'm showing up. But his mindset, his energy, he was fully present. He was in, and everything said, well, you shouldn't be. And your mindset matters. What you think about yourself and what you bring to an experience is going to impact what you get out of an experience.
That's it, man. That's real, man. There's someone in the comments right now, Tiffany Bray, man. She's my family. Nickname Tip Boo. Shout out to Tip Boo Michi. You know what I'm saying? You talking about a go-getter, bro. Like, I watch her, man. She's got her own photography business.
Nice.
She sold up the whole city when it comes to like prom photos, and she's the GOAT when it comes to getting and capturing those moments with the prom. And but again, every time we've been in each other's presence, we definitely have that entrepreneurial spirit. And we're always like, man, what's next? What can we create next? How can we maximize?
Is she in Atlanta?
She is. Yes.
Then we may have to have, because John was the one that lived in Tampa who took the pictures.
Okay.
So maybe Tiffany needs to
Yes.
connect with Mike, right? With
Okay.
Michael Stevenson, so that maybe she'll be the one taking the pictures for us
Okay. Okay.
in Tampa. So you need to make that connection between her and Michael. See, this is what we do here. We
That's
see
right.
who is an expert, who is good at something, and then we connect them to someone else. Like I'm asking Coach Tio, if she is as good as you say, then we need her.
Oh, definitely,
And,
bro.
and so connect her with Michael. And because Michael, he owns Brim and Brand, right?
That's
Michael's an
right.
exceptional human being, and he's our guy who does all our video and for that. But if she's boots on the ground, if she has all the equipment there, there's no reason to bring all this stuff,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it
Absolutely,
makes
bro.
sense, right?
I'll
This
check
is
with
what
her,
the New York
man.
City mastermind, and she just said absolutely.
I'll
So
check
look
with
at
her,
that.
bro.
Yes.
She
So
busy.
we're
She
gonna
busy,
connect with
bro. She might be photoing for Ti and 2 Chainz. Ain't gonna
listen,
tell her. So I'll
I'm
I'll
gonna
get
tell
with her,
you,
man.
she said she's absolutely, and she understands the value of what we're doing,
Yeah.
because if you connect her with Mike and everything is cohesive and it works out, then Tiffany will be with us in Atlanta, September 25th through 27th. Tiffany,
Yeah,
put it on your calendar, girl.
man. No doubt. That's what's
Love
up,
that.
man. I'm just it's a special thing, man. It just really is. And to me, that's what it's all about, bro. She saw something I did. She hit me up and was like, "Boy, you need an official headshot. Your photo is whack." She was like, "You need to fix that like now, because you go on places, you doing big things." And but that meant something, because I was like, she's right, bro. Like straight up and down, man. Like, our presence out here, it's real. You know what I'm saying? And you never know who's watching, man. So it's a special thing, man.
See,
Yeah.
look at that.
Oh yeah.
You said it, she's an action taker. She's marking it down.
Yeah.
Now, for everybody else who is going to listen, if you're a professional speaker, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you're just getting started, this is the place to be. Why? Proximity. Listen, you don't get anything from the room unless you are in the room. You can be in the room and you still get nothing.
It's a
You
fact.
still
Yeah.
have to open that thing, that gift that is right there underneath your nose. That's a gift. How you use it is key. And then you have to use these things at the side of your head called ears, because you have to listen. You can't just go in there and say, "Let me sell you my product." No, that's nonsense.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear that nonsense, right? Because we all have products. Have I ever sat with you guys and said, "You got to buy my thing"? Ever?
Yeah.
No.
And
You've
vice
known me.
versa. Vice versa, bro.
You've known me for quite some time, right, Theo?
Yeah.
What have I sold you besides my hugs?
Hugs, love, trust, believe in yourself. We're in this together, brother. Let's move forward. Yeah. The important intangibles. That's just being honest. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I agree.
that's why we're doing what we're doing, right? You and I have an incredible show also. It's everybody listen up. It's every Friday. I'm gonna see if I have it here, because I would love for you guys to. If I don't have it up here, I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna put it on here for the show that Coach Tio and I do. So while you guys keep talking, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look for it and I'm gonna bring it
Yeah.
up, because it's an incredible show.
Yeah, it is, man. I enjoy it. And Renee, you've heard me say it. We're leadership junkies, man. Like leadership, man. Like sometimes when I'm putting out reels and things like that, on Instagram, Facebook, wherever it's at, YouTube, and I start putting those hashtags in there. I can't get past those same ones: leadership development, leadership coaching, just leadership. Like those three, it's like, man, I get so happy just knowing Renee that it's like, bro, I started this journey of, man, I know what I'm good at, bro, and that's leading. Am I saying perfect? No, but understanding the minutia of leadership and having lived it, and that to me, that's that superpower for me personally, Renee. Just knowing, man, even when I didn't know what, I wouldn't say I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't know the outcome, but I tried, if that makes sense. I tried, I failed, I wrote things down, stayed up all night stressing about the next morning and how things were gonna come together as a leader or whatever. And spent a lot of arduous time with the individuals I was leading. Uh, Only to be here today, sitting next to you, Renee, knowing that you love leadership the same way. That's what, for me, being in that room, you are a phenomenal speaker. You already know that. But I was more compelled to be, in your presence on that leadership vibe of like, man, I need to learn from her, because she's got tools and she's got an experience that when you bring that together, that unification that Sifu's talking about, man, it's a real powerful thing. And, I appreciate it because we don't know when today might be the last. And
Oh,
yeah, we don't know, man. And sometimes looking out at the horizon, it's like, man, okay, the horizon's still the horizon, but man, and I have to say it. ET always says it, man. When you want success as bad as you want to breathe. When I think about that statement, I don't think of success in terms of monetary or trying to be rich or trying to get 10 million followers on Instagram. I know success in my sons went to bed smiling. You know what I mean?
mhm.
My wife, is happy. My parents are like, hey, son, we're okay, or whatever the case. So those things require work. So I'm curious, Renee, like the journey that you've been on since Tampa, how's it been for you? Just simple question. Since Tampa, when we were together, how's the journey thus far within your leadership repertoire? How's it been?
It has been powerful. I have learned from so many different people, and I'm so excited about the experiences because there's so many of us that do leadership, but it's coming from such a different lens.
Yes.
And that's the piece that I love, because I mentioned I love movies, but I also love so much military. My dad was in the Air Force, and so it's just that tie of how these pieces fit together and how applicable it is to everyday life.
Yes.
Sometimes there's this thought that leadership is like a corporate thing or a frou-frou thing, but it is probably one of the most important things that you can ever do, because leadership is getting up in the morning and choosing and deciding. It's your mindset. And I will say that room in Tampa gave me the opportunity to tap into so many resources. And I think I was drinking from the fire hose when I first left, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to talk to all these people. And I said, okay, stop. You're going to you're going to get sick if you try to consume too much. And so breaking it
Right.
into bite-sized pieces. So I will say is that there is not an absence of experience or power or opportunities in the room. It's, how much do you have capacity for? And being in that room stretched my capacity. And I just get excited every day. Let's not get it, twisted. There are those days where I'm on the ledge. With anything, leaders have those days where you are just, you've poured out and you need to be poured into. And I'm grateful that I have those sources of, hey, I don't have it today. I need somebody to pour into me, and having those people that you can tap into for energy, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real leadership.
Absolutely. And you were also on our show. So I found that video. Take a look, you guys. This is the show that Coach Tio Clay and I do every Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And we'd love for some of you, Renee, come on back sometime, right? We've had you on and it's been exceptional. But take a look.
Unify leadership. Let's move. Let's lead. Let's ride. Unify leadership. Light the flame, turn it up loud. Remember the name. Unify leadership. Power and pride. We don't just talk, we testify. Unify leadership. Heart and grind, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, croppers and rhythm, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, crowd on sway. Coach Clay, truth and play. Sifu Rafael, calm control, leaders in sync. Hearts of gold, focus sharp, the mission clear. Every step forward, silence the fear. Discipline, dripping, confidence, how we move together, we amplify. Who we are, unified. What we lead, unified. Stand tall, unified. Every time, unified leadership. Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Steady and true, the sound of the few that follow new. Strong alive, this is the beat where leaders thrive. Unified leadership.
The three of us are going.
I don't know. Every time I hear that, I get so I'm just back here dancing.
Yeah.
It's my hype song, my dance party, because it's just a snippet of what you get on that show. Oh my gosh, I have tons of notes when I'm on there with y'all. I just love hearing these nuggets and.
It's good. It really is, man. It's good. Yes.
So when we think about, and we talked earlier about clicks and interrupting and being an interrupter, or being somebody who steps in and just listens sometimes, and then we take notes or we take something away. It's about those moments that really define your tomorrows, right? Because it's what you do with them, how you learn. Because every time I'm with you guys, I'm learning, right? And Renee, you talked about you took so much that you were a little bit overwhelmed and you had to step back and say, stop. I need to hone in. And I know that you filled your book with notes and notes and notes. And we had a show just about note taking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you consider all the nuggets that people are getting when they come to the New York City Experience, it's special. It really is. When Coach Tio speaks, when you speak, when any one of us are in the room, we speak. And you earlier said, Coach Tio, that it's not about followers, it's not about the money. And I said it on our show just this past Friday. I'm not there for the money. I'm there for the souls. I'm there. That's who I want to impact, right? So for me, it still is everywhere, and anytime I go somewhere, it's I'm a very much people watcher. So if I'm seeing a click, I'm like, why is there a click? Yeah. What unifies them to make it a click? Mm-hmm. Is it the culture? Is it the brotherhood, the sisterhood? Is it something? Is it money? Is it religion, spiritual? Is it camaraderie? Is it something they went through? I'm super curious, man. I want to know.
Yeah,
I'm going to step in there. That's why I like to interrupt. Like, what's going on? Let me in. And I was telling you, I think both of you, I was talking to Lancelot, And we were driving to an event together, he and I. And we started talking about when I was younger and so forth, and when he was younger. And we were just talking stories, right, as we're driving. And I told him that I used to go to this nightclub called Pegasus. He goes, "What? Pegasus?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You went to Pegasus?" I said, "Yeah." So I go, "How do you know Pegasus?" He goes, "My dad was a co-owner of that nightclub."
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, wow, that is crazy. But here's the weird thing, right? And I think Renee even knew about it. I was the only white guy in the club when I went,
See,
right?
it goes back. It goes back, bro. That's
I was
special.
the only white guy in the club. And I got to tell you, I felt the love.
Yeah.
Nobody made me feel like, oh, there's a white boy in here. None of that. It was like, come on, bring it in. Let's go. I
Oh,
was
I
dancing
love
with
it, dog.
brothers and sisters, and
I love it.
I used to love to go to Pegasus. And the warmth in that place was phenomenal, right? Because there was no judgment on anyone's part. And I
Yeah.
loved it. So, but why did I go in there? I could have walked in and go, oh, wow, I'm the only one.
Which
No,
most people do.
I
Yes.
didn't I
Yes.
didn't say that. I didn't even think it. It would never occurred to me. I was like, oh, the music's going. Let's go. Boom.
Yeah.
And I'm in the room and people like they're jiving with me and it was just phenomenal. But there was absolutely no judgment. And so the reason I was able to get into the middle of that room and be with all these incredible, beautiful people is because I was curious.
Yeah, bro.
I wanted to be there, right?
That's the breakthrough, Sifu. The breakthrough. You was telling me about the snowball. Four
Yeah.
brothers threw the snowball at you, and you know, but that's where the breakthrough happens, man, because we're still connected to God, bro. You
That's it.
can't leave God out, bro. We know what ego, everybody says it, edging God out and all of that. Man, if you on this Tuesday morning, if you haven't done it in a while, man, Coach T.O. Cap on, man, give your life to the Lord today, bro. And how do you start by doing it? Just professing out of your mouth that I give my life to you, Father God. Direct my ways, direct my paths, protect my environment, my circumference, whatever it is in your heart to say. I know what I say. I know what I say because I need the Lord, bro. Like 100%. And I smile and I get happy because the Lord does things that I can't do, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just straight up can't do it, man. Like I'll be honest, like for some reason this whole word click has been coming on this stream today. But the beauty is we've used this same word today in the most positive,
That's right.
advantageous manner possible. That's what it's about, and um I'm a hip hop head, all around my studio in here right now. Many of you know that have rocked with the light bulb lessons or whatever. I use a lot of hip hop in my branding because that's a part of me. I love hip hop, and I'm not going to stop being who I really am. The moment I
That's
stop
right.
being who I really am, that's when I'll be feeling on that old fake imposter and be using Chat GPT and all this other crap to project something that I'm really not, and that's not my style. So there's a group called The Click, and some of
Mm.
you probably heard of the man's name. His name is E40. E40. If you've ever watched the Golden State Warriors play, he's at all their games because he's from the Bay Area. And he was brought into the game by an old school cat named Too Short. And E40 and the Click, man, is one of the most iconic groups out there, and when I say out there, I mean in general. And they've sustained over all these years. Now they're older guys. They're in their 50s. They're like 58, they're pushing 60, but their music lives on forever. And it's three of them. It's E40, Be Legit, and the female, her name is Sugar T. And without her, the clique is just not the clique. Without E40, the clique is just not the clique. They've all done their separate things, but as we all know, and I'll leave it with this one, Boys to Men. The guy with the deep voice. Go to the end of the road. The one with the really deep voice, he's had a lot of issues. And we see this traditionally throughout a lot of groups. There's always that one. David Ruffin and the Temptations, the Beastie Boys or whoever, but particularly, I think his name's Big Mike. I think is what they call it, McCary or something like that. But he got into a fight with one of the other Boys to Men guys, picked him up, slammed him on the kitchen table in the house. This is all recent, within like the last year, because they were supposed to go on tour. They kicked him out of the group. And then when they went and performed one or two shows, the people just was kind of like, man, it's just not the same without those core individuals. But the beauty is, somehow, some way, my man came to the hilt and realized that, man, I'm out of pocket. He came back, they had a one-on-one, and now they're back out touring together as Boys to Men, as we all know. And those are the special things, man. That's why I say, bro, like, thank you, Sifu, once again, because you come up with these concepts and these topics, bro. And a lot of times these concepts and these topics, they bring out the best in us all the way around. So it's a beautiful thing, bro.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you a lot. So let's think about New York City Mastermind Experience rooms are an opportunity for growth. And it's hard to grow if you don't plant. So you got to plant yourself in that seat, but you can't stay there. You got to grow there.
Yeah.
So think about that. Oh, he's going to write a post. So you need to plant yourself, and the only way to plant yourself is to get your ticket. So I would recommend everybody get your ticket today.
Yeah.
I love what Jose Escobar usually says. Listen, winners find a way to win.
Yeah.
So if you say, I don't have the money, it's you don't have the resources is what you really don't have. Because if you have a will, there is a way. So those are my parting words for today. I know we're at the top of the hour, so we're basically done. We took it a little bit extra because we believe, listen, Coach Tio is our boots on the ground. We're coming to your playground. He's going to show us how to play better. I always want to learn, man. Yeah. And I'm ready to be in Atlanta and to hang out with you and do all these incredible things. And Renee Jackson-Smith is going to be one of our speakers. And if you heard anybody say it today, she's a phenomenal speaker.
Yes.
She's a gift.
Yes.
And when you see a gift, what do? You unwrap it and you go, oh my God, what a beautiful gift. Let me enjoy this gift. So Renee, thank you for being such a gift, and keep doing what you're doing, girl.
Well, this has been a gift for me being here today with both of you. I love the experience. I love talking about leadership. I will leave you with this is get in the room, but don't just get in the room, be intentional in the room.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself, check your ego, check judgment, check all of that at the door, and just be curious and open. Because if I promise you, if you are open, you are going to see a big shift. So get in the room.
It's awesome.
That's it. God bless you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And don't forget, you are beautifully made.
Yes.
Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise, because God loves you as well. All right, everybody. God bless.
Bye.
Peace.
Everyone who's in the room is all about giving. Everyone who show up here and who are in the room are just givers, and they just want everyone to become better and better entrepreneurs, better founders, better coaches, better givers. You are going to meet the best of the best in this room, and it's an intimate experience, right? Sometimes you go to events where there are hundreds or thousands of people, and here in the New York City Mastermind, it's an intimate experience. So you really get to know them. You get to know them as people and not as just a number that's out there. So I highly recommend New York City Mastermind to anyone.